Lights go down, the sirens sound. You know what time it is. Detail. You know what time it is. Sealing our veins and fire in our eyes. When chaos rises, we're the last line. Step in the ring, step into the fight. We keep the order on a Friday night. When the crowd gets loud and the tension's high, you know the Guardians have arrived. We are the silent security detail. Stand your ground or you will fail. When the storm begins to rise, we bring the thunder to the fight. No fear, no backing down. We run this battlefield of SmackDown. When the warning lights reveal, you face it down. Security detail. Security detail.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday night. It is time for the SmackDown Security Detail, as SmackDown is coming to us from Kansas City, the home of the Kansas City Royals. And speaking of Royals, we have our King of the Ring tournament semifinals tonight. Javon Evans going up against Jey Uso. That's going to be a fantastic matchup. Cannot wait to see what these two men will do. But on the women's side, the Queen of the Ring tournament semifinals, Charlotte Flair goes one-on-one with our WWE Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan. This is going to be, both these matches are shaping out to be fantastic matches. And Gunther challenges Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship tonight. Sami Zayn will be serving as the special guest referee in that match. Chaos is all I can say to expect out of that matchup here. As we see Sami in the catering area, Cody walking into the building here. Now, Sami Zayn, as we all know, last week was handpicked by Gunther to be the special referee. Other matches that we can expect to find on the card tonight, Damien Priest and R-Truth are going to be defending their tag team titles against the MFT'S. Carmelo Hayes goes one-on-one with Ricky Saints in the United States #1 contendership match. This, guys, is shaping up to be a can't-miss episode of SmackDown. This is the episode that I believe is going to shape what we can expect as far as what's going to happen come SummerSlam. And we're only like 6 weeks away from that. And once again, we're taking a look at what happened at Clash in Italy between Gunther and Cody Rhodes, where Gunther had his foot underneath the rope while Cody made the 3 count. And now we're looking at when Gunther basically tried to hold the show hostage until Cody had come out, and then Sami Zayn had showed up. This is just, they're showing the build up to everything that took place leading up to tonight's championship matchup. But this buildup is just I get a feeling that there's going to be more coming out of the show than what's being put into the show tonight. And Sami Zayn is making his way to the ring right now in the referee uniform. Are we starting the night off with this match? I'm very perplexed here. I think we are getting this championship match. Yeah, we're getting the World Heavyweight title match right off the start here because now Sami's in the ring. Gunther's making his way out. Smiling and acknowledging Sami Zayn as he comes into the ring here. And asking to shake Sami's hand, but Sami is saying, I got to call it down the middle, and shakes his hand. He's just Sami, I guess, trying to be that last real good guy that he claims to be. And here comes our WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, coming out here. Now, Javon Evans and Jey Uso have to be watching this match because when either one of them makes it to the final, they've got Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns that they can challenge for this matchup or for the title. And Jey Uso has already laid claim that he is going to gun after Cody if he does win the King of the Ring. But that's going to be a tall order considering they've got, depending on whomever wins, will have to worry about Oba Femi. And Cody being the good guy, signing autographs, shaking hands with everybody, hugging fans. I'm kind of surprised that we're starting the night off with this matchup. And now Sami shaking hands with Cody. Cody shaking hands with the ring announcer. And of course, the ring announcer is a hometown boy for me, Mark Nash. The crowd vociferously booing Sami Zayn as the ring announcer announces him. And now Gunther, just look at the shape Gunther's in, man. He is in incredible shape for this match tonight. Yeah, this is unbelievable that we are opening this one on the 1400th episode of SmackDown. And starting off this match right away, collar and elbow tie up, both men not giving an inch here, I was going to say, but switching it around, and the tie up continues into the rope. Sami Zayn initiating that count. Cody just took a chop, a very hard chop from Gunther to the chest. Oh, now Sami getting in between them when I don't think he really needed to get in between them. But now Gunther taking advantage of that separation, and now, well, he was trying to, and now Cody with that kick, and once again going back to that chop, Gunther, unreal. And Cody fighting back here, fighting off the chop, and now pummeling away on Gunther in that corner. Referee Sami Zayn tried to separate it, but ultimately Gunther took advantage of that and kicked Cody in the head. Beginning to think that this thing with that what Sami's doing here, he's doing things by right, initiating that 5 count in the corner and all that, and separating when he needs to. But I think sometimes he's jumping in a little too early to separate instead of giving that initial warning and then jumping in to separate. But right now, Gunther teeing off on Cody with a bunch of knees, and now looks like he's going for a reverse neck breaker. Oh, instead he changes it to a chop as Cody tried to fight it off, and now we got a 2 count there. Sami Zayn on the ball there, but Cody quick to get out of there. And yes, guys, we do have tag team championship action as R-Truth and Damien Priest are going to be taking on the MFT'S. again, the winner between Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints earns themselves a number one contenders match at Night of Champions against Trick Williams. But right now, in this ring right now, Cody is just not looking too great right now against Gunther. I think Gunther was looking for a back suplex, but Cody hits the Cody cutter. Cody trying to feed off the energy of this Kansas City audience here and trying to mount himself a comeback, as it were, against Gunther. And that's no easy task, really, to keep Gunther down, because Gunther's an animal. He is just... it's just hard to describe what you see when you watch a guy like Gunther wrestle in the ring. Going to work on that left knee now of Cody Rhodes as he kicked it in the corner, tripped him. Now he's got the figure four leg lock locked in. And Cody's in a very precarious position right now. Oh, Cody trying to fight out of it, trying to reverse it, doing everything he can. Oh, Gunther playing it smart, grabbing those ropes. Sami's not even paying attention. Oh, now Sami was just a little bit well, roll up. Cody almost winning there. We're going to just take ourselves just one quick commercial break here, guys. So bear with us.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
And ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. Support your favorite shows and your favorite podcasters by visiting our merch shop, powered by redbubble.com, so it is 100% safe and secure. Wear what we wear. All of the proceeds come back into our studios to bring you a better experience. And when you make a purchase, tag us on the socials. And from there, we will give you a shout out live right here on air during one of our many weekly programs.
Well, the 3 count was initiated, but Sami did notice that Gunther's foot was under the rope here. Almost, as they are saying on the announce team, a carbon copy of what happened at Clash in Italy. Welcome to the show, OMD. Starting off with the World Heavyweight title match.
Yes, I saw that. I'm actually quite surprised that they started this off. But Sami making the correct call in this situation.
But is he doing the correct thing right now by antagonizing Cody?
No, but Cody did just put his hands on an official.
Well, if I were Sami, I would have. Well, actually, Cody would have wanted the disqualification, but Cody's now locked up in that sleeper. Sami is not doing anything to check on Cody. Cody's fading. Sami, you might want to check the arm there, bud. Oh no, Cody's trying to come back.
Yep. Sami doing the right thing there, saying, no, Cody's in the ropes. And now pulling Gunther off of Cody.
Grabbing him by like the nostrils, basically.
Okay, so both men are now getting physical with Sami Zayn.
Oh, and Gunther pie facing Cody or Sami.
And Sami doing the same thing to Gunther.
Oh, and Sami eating a power bomb right now.
Yes, Gunther's handpicked official doing the right thing. But not necessarily showing loyalty to Cody, but doing the right thing.
But here's the thing. Cody didn't see any of that. So if he tries to go for a 3 count and notices that Sami's not around.
Yep, and Sami not in the ring.
Oh, he's calling for another official.
So Cody Smart calling for an official. So he realized that Cody or Sami had been taken out.
Now, how much you want to bet that that official is going to get taken out because Sami will try and find his way back in?
Yep.
Gunther going right back to those chops. That's been the story of this match on Gunther's side. He's been striking Cody down as often as he can with those chops in this matchup. Oh, now Cody. Yeah, up goes Cody, down goes Cody. And there's where the official gets taken out.
Yep.
And see there. Oh, and Sami pulling the old... Oh, fast count.
Wow.
Cody Rhodes taking the win. I don't think Cody would have wanted to win that way.
No. But now to what you've been speculating on is, does this set up a triple threat match further down the road?
I think it has to now because that's twice now Gunther got screwed. Gunther lost unfairly both matches, you know?
Yes, he did. Even Cody now starting to plead Gunther's case for him.
But I was going to say when Sami Zayn kicked Gunther's hands off the ropes, that's an old Earl Hebner move right there.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Nick Aldis is out there. He's not happy. The only person that's got to be, I guess, sort of happy in this situation is Cody, because at least he kept the belt. But
he did, but I mean, we could see him pleading his case, and I mean, really, just his look there, I noticed he was really starting to lean more in, starting to look more like Guile from the upcoming Street Fighter movie. But when he's pleading Gunther's case, saying, you know, I don't want to win like this.
Yeah, that's almost like Bret Hart in a way, because in the mid-90s, Bret was like a fighting champion. If he didn't like the way he won a match, you could see it on his face, you know?
Yeah.
Brett was the kind of guy like who wanted to defend his title against anybody.
Yep.
And wanted a good clean match out of them.
Yeah. So is this a situation where we're going to go to that triple threat match next Saturday? Like, do we see Nick Aldis make that match as we come out of the break?
I 100% say that that's where the triple threat match is taking place. Because there's only, it's supposed to be Night of Champions, and there's only one championship match that's going to be taking place on the show.
Yeah.
And that's whoever wins between Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints. They're challenging Trick Williams for the U.S. title at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
And like I said, even on Monday, we don't have a world title match going into this show. And
right.
I thought we were going to get one on Monday with Roman Reigns and maybe somebody stepping up to challenge. I mean, we probably still could, given this whole thing that he said about Seth Rollins. But I feel like this is the match that we're probably going to.
Yeah. Yeah, with Night of Champions, it was originally brought back as a night where all of the titles were supposed to be defended. What I would like to start seeing with it is more of a bragging rights and SmackDown versus Raw type thing. Let your champions go one-on-one with each other. Yes, you're going to crown the king and queen of the ring, but you can do that on the Monday or the Friday or a combination of both.
Well, we already have that in Crown Jewel.
That's you'd have the yes, but you only have your men's and women's heavyweight champions facing each other for the Crown Jewel Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say in that situation, you could technically do the Crown Jewel Championship, but you don't have to because both of those championships may change by the fall.
Mm-hmm. I get why they started the show off with this championship because it's one of those things, and I've said this about the old Saturday Night's Main Event. Their first match was in the 80s and early 90s was always a Hulk Hogan match if Hogan was on the card. So in that case, it was like, because Saturday Night's Main Event started at like 11 o'clock. So it was like, get the Hogan match out and then put the kids to bed and then the parents can watch the rest of the show. OMD just had himself a little bit of an accident.
I did.
But no, I get why they did this. It's that whole start the show off with a bang. And we did get a bang out of this situation.
Yes, we did. Just give me one quick moment. I will be right back.
Yeah. As we are looking at the events of what just took place right here, gotta wonder, like, what's Nick Aldis going to do about this situation? He was irate. Mm. Okay.
Yeah. And I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa. This is all you're doing. Never mind. Cody's marching his butt back to the ring. Gunther and Sami and Nick Aldis are having it out in the gorilla position. Oh, Cody wants the match to restart now.
Yes, with a proper official.
And Sammy's just getting his butt kicked in the gorilla position right now.
Yes, he is. You know what? Good on Cody.
Gunther's storming to the ring. And we got it. They restarted the match.
Wow. Love it. Love it. And good on Cody for not taking the cheap victory.
Oh, but Cody going for that sleeper. And Gunther going for the sleeper. The match continues. Wow. With Sami taken out, though, I still get this feeling Sami's going to do something. Yep. I mean, all he was done was thrown into the wall. He can get up from that. If he took a boot in the head from Gunther, that might have been a different story.
Cody trying to switch hands and go overhead.
Yeah, the fight right now is who's going to lock the sleeper in? Who's going to bed?
Yep.
Well, Cody's starting to fade right now. And there's Sami. And a disqualification. On Sami taking out the referee.
Wow.
And clocking Cody. This has to lead to that triple threat match.
Yeah. Now, I've got to ask, in these guest ref situations, would it almost be better to have another proper official at ringside there in case of that guest ref bias? And I know it's something that we see time and again. But would it be better to have that other official at ringside to say, no, that's not a proper call?
Nah, because I think that would just slow everything down. Sami getting into it with some of the fans out in the crowd.
Yep, and ripping up the sign. And now I'm going to say with Sami Zayn, that crocodile look in his eyes, that crocodile guilt.
This is not what Cody or what Gunther wanted.
No.
But, wow.
And that is something that John Cena would have done. So is that Cody now sort of trying to embrace that mantle? Is he becoming the new John Cena?
Well, guess who's defended the WWE title more times than the World Heavyweight title's been defended recently? It's been Cody.
Yep. And tonight we know that we also have Jey Uso and Javon Evans in the King of the Ring semifinal, and Liv versus Charlotte in the Queen of the Ring semifinal.
Yeah, and Javon and Jay had to have been watching this match tonight.
Yep.
But if I were them, I'd also be studying up on some Oba Femi, because whoever wins out of that gets Oba Femi.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking at what Jade Cargill and her crew did to Tiffany Stratton there. As we know right now, Jade is looking to gun after the U.S. Women's Championship.
Yes, she is.
And Jade right now talking in the locker room with Kathy Kelly. And Jade laying out the challenge for Tiffany to defend the title at Night of Champions, the Women's Championship.
Yes,
US
and
Women's Championship.
taking credit for injuring Rhea Ripley as well. BFAB and Michin blaming Tiffany for taking Jade out of the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yeah. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our next commercial break.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday night, we are on call as the Raw Patrol is on duty at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday, we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursdays, let us power your dreams with the Xbox Showcase at 9 p.m. Friday, we invite you to come for a ride with the SmackDown SecuiryDetail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later in the day, the Locker Room presents Wrestling Recap Delivers at 7 p.m. Always be aware that weekend shows can vary in times, as the PLE Patrol and other watch party streams are always a must-see. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day, and watch all of the latest episodes on turnbucklestudios.org/shows. And please do not forget to drop a like, follow, and to subscribe to all of our channels, and when the time is right, all you have to do is tap in.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, and there is something for you each and every night of the week. And we want you to meet the team behind those shows. Chris Best, Chris Parrish, myself, Logan Thompson, Bubba Duke, and the Godfather himself, Carl Carafel. Click on our individual links to get our socials so you can interact with us out there on the interwebs and watch our latest weekly live episodic programming. All of that and more, turnbucklestudios.org. As we welcome Chris Parrish into the show, how are we doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing all right.
Pretty sure we're doing better than Cody is right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's still the champion, and I'll be the first one to say Sami Zayn did not do anything wrong.
No.
He could have disqualified Cody. He could have disqualified Gunther. He let them both go up. They abused their position. And, well, Gunther went overboard.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
No, he called it down the middle, just as he told both of them at the start of the match.
Yeah. I mean, look, did he not see the foot underneath the rope? Did he not give him leeway when Cody made it to the ropes? No. Gunther abused the position that he was in, and Sami could have disqualified him there. Didn't. Put hands on him, took him off the hold, and then got a kick and a power bomb to his trouble. So Gunther kind of got what he deserved in my eyes.
But Cody didn't want to win via the fast count, so credit to Cody for going out there saying, no, we need to restart the match now with a proper official. And then Sami Zayn came out, got Cody disqualified, and then clocked Cody. So are you leaning towards this triple threat idea like Mr. Best is?
I mean, it looks that way. I have a feeling Nick Aldis might suspend Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Sami Zayn is if they use this as an opportunity to remove Sami Zayn from SmackDown.
Yeah.
I could see him maybe being thrown back to Raw.
Yep.
But I will say I don't understand why Nick Aldis gets so mad easily at Sami Zayn. I think that's a little unfair. I mean, if it was any other official that Gunther hit, Nick Aldis would be all over Gunther. But because it was an active wrestler, he lets that slide. Now he's mad at Sami. I think that's a little unjust.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like as we were seeing, like Gunther put his hands on Sami Zayn before the match got restarted. So again, he initialized everything.
Yep.
So what do you like? What would you guys want out of Sami Zayn? Like, and when I say you guys, like, what would Nick, Cody, and Gunther want when he's provoked the way he is?
I have a feeling that this is either going to go to, like we suggested, that triple threat. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Cody say he wants Sami. I also wouldn't be surprised to see a number one contenders match between Gunther and Sami.
Yeah.
At Saturday night's main event.
Oh.
So, this is what I want to see out of Nick Aldis. A little bit of giving it back to Gunther.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, though, if he gets mad at Sami for taking the official, because that I can understand, but at the same time, I mean, it's no different from what Gunther did.
No. And Gunther saying it's Nick
Aldis.
Rhodes
not push Sami Zayn either.
Yeah.
So the Cody Rhodes isn't exactly Mr. Innocent either.
No. But Gunther blaming Nick Aldis, saying, you're the only reason I'm not the champion and I want another match at Night of Champions, so make it happen.
I would just make a triple threat elimination match.
Yeah.
But we're looking at Jey Uso's path to the match against Javon Evans tonight. Not gonna lie, I did like that final shot of the crown with Jay's face right beside it.
Jacob Fatu is now talking to Solo Sikoa in his dressing room.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu saying he's not there for Solo, but he's there to make sure nobody interferes in the Jey Uso Javon Evans match later tonight. But if the MFT'S, I mean, like the big worry tonight should be their tag team championship match later tonight.
Yeah. So we've now had in the last 10 minutes 2 more challenges issued for Night of Champions, one between Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton for the U.S. Women's Championship, and now Gunther demanding this rematch again.
And Tama telling Solo he needs to stay back for this match. And then Tala is putting in his 2 cents now.
So Solo now seemingly that man without an island.
Well, there is an island that Solo or Jacob Fatu tried to convince Solo to join.
Yep. Is it an island in the sun?
You're not relevant enough for the island.
The island wishes.
Stop talking on my island. I had peace, damn it.
Yeah, here we go. Tag team championship action.
So really starting hot with our 2 title matches. Matches I would have expected a little bit later in the show, or at least this one to kick off. And then you go to the world title as the main event.
Yeah. No, I think it's quite clear that Charlotte versus Liv Morgan will main event tonight's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Which is you're main eventing with an active champion.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's crazy just how much championship pedigree is being represented tonight.
Yeah.
That's why last week I called this edition of SmackDown. It's basically a championship edition of the show. As it should be. I mean, the Night of Champions isn't far off, and kind of she should be representing all the champions in the build-ups.
Yeah. I mean, Night of Champions.
I believe Night of Champions is just what? Yeah, a week tomorrow. So you check that out when we go live with the PLE Patrol. So we got 8 days before we get real. I think it's getting a little close to the show that we don't have close to a full card. I would expect a full card by this time.
Yeah. I mean, we've got Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. We've got Trick Williams versus the winner of Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the King and Queen of the Ring finals. You've got that challenge issued from Jade to Tiffany Stratton, and then you've got Gunther now begging for another rematch.
I mean, at the very least, next week we'll get our lead up to Night of Champions, which, I mean, I guess that's fair. I wish that they would give us a little bit more time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that tonight should have been that final call. Have that done a night before. I remember a time when you used to have your PLE cards finalized and announced a month beforehand.
Yeah, but that was also when you're not running as many PLEs or pay-per-views at that point, as much as they are now. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I actually remember when I was a kid and they'd run down the entire SummerSlam card 2 months before SummerSlam even started. But again, they were only running 4 pay-per-views at that time. And also, to be fair, a lot of the pay-per-view matches around that time were just throwing together matches because pay-per-view wasn't as widely available. So they relied on Saturday night's main event for all their big angles.
Well, it wasn't as widely available, but they also did tend to build up Or they'd make the announcement and then build a story as to, okay, why is that match happening? As opposed to now when they're building the story to make the announcement.
Now, when it comes to the Carmelo Hayes, oh my God, I forgot his opponent tonight.
Ricky Saints.
Thank you, Ricky Saints. I think I got Ricky Saints taking the win in that one.
I still have a feeling Trick is going to play a part in this, and that's where we're going to get the triple threat.
Yeah.
I don't think Sami is going to be added to the Night of Champions. In fact, I think maybe a stipulation where if Sami gets involved, he will be suspended.
I almost wonder if instead that's where Nick Aldis is going to say, Gunther, you want a rematch? Cody wants Sami. Sami's involved. Next week, it's going to be Gunther and Sami in a number one contenders match at Night of Champions. We are seeing another vignette for Blake Monroe.
Yeah. But right now we've got tag team championship action here.
As we are still awaiting the arrival of the MFT'S.
No, they're on their way out now.
Yes, they are. Now, with everything that has gone down between Priest, R-Truth, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa, does Royce Keys make his presence felt in this match?
I'm not really sure.
I'm getting very intrigued with the Royce Keys thing, but at the same time, I'd like to see this develop a little bit quicker. I'd like to see either Royce Keys give a full out answer of either leave me alone or join, like one of the two.
Yeah.
But I think this has been now almost a full month and so of this back and forth without like, are you with like where we don't know, and I think that's just it's grinding a little too much in my eyes.
Yeah. So Damien Priest climbs to the middle rope, gives a crotch chop to Talatonga, and then jumps down for what? Yes, it provoked Tala, but what was that in aid of?
It was because Tala is trying to like over or showcase that he's bigger and whatnot, and the cross chop it's always a gesture of it's always a little bit more than just an insult. It's always a more like I don't care. It's more of a that like it means whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's one of those of I'm not afraid of you kind of either, because we've seen even Shawn and Triple H, do that same crotch chop in the whole sense of like it doesn't scare us kind of a thing, or just as a way just to provoke the other person. And I think that's what Damien Priest wanted. He wanted a fight, so he provoked Tala enough to throw the first shot.
Yeah, but interesting to note when you guys were discussing that the War Raiders are looking on at this matchup right now, because a couple weeks ago they did lay out a title for title challenge against R-Truth and Damien Priest. And if the MFTs are successful, maybe they step up and challenge them.
Yep. But they were standing there watching the monitor, not sitting on a couch again. To your chagrin, Mr. Best.
I know. That's just, at least they were facing the TV and not standing at a 3/4 stance. But I don't know. That's just something that kind of irks me. But it still impresses me that at this age, just how good R-Truth still is.
Right?
And the thing I like about this iteration of R-Truth is he knows when to turn on the comedy, and he knows when things are going to be serious at this point.
R-Truth is now just in his character is now stealing everyone else's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Curtis Axel, anyone? Another man who has still never been eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he was. If you never enter it, then you're never in it. He never got in the ring. Therefore, he was never in it.
And then like 3 weeks later, somebody threw him over the top rope and said, there, now you're eliminated.
That always like makes me laugh, because when they time you with your time in the Rumble, they start it when you enter the ring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the entrance. So if Curtis Axel doesn't get in the ring, therefore he's never in the match.
Now, on the other hand, if he got into the ring and then was yanked out on the bottom rope and then beat up, that's a different story. Speaking of getting beaten up, though, R-Truth is taking a beating right now from Tama Tonga. On a hard overhand chop from Tala there. Just caving in R-Truth's chest.
Yep.
Priest finally making his way up onto the apron there after being taken out earlier. Yeah, I can't wait to see where they're going with this whole War Raider situation. And with that, I'm wondering, do they Do a Worlds Collide with the main roster taking on AAA guys.
I would like to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
With Tama Tonga keeping on R-Truth, cutting off the corner, blocking R-Truth from making any sort of or building any sort of momentum so he can go over and tag our Damien Priest.
Yeah. Tama Tonga, who was a tag team specialist in New Japan, really working it the way you really appreciate, Mr. Best, and, you know, cutting the ring in half.
It's that classic tag team wrestling. It's the smartest strategy. Cut that corner off, block your opponent, take out the guy on the apron if you have to, just as we saw Tama Tonga do to our Damien Priest.
Yep.
But now Damien gets the tag, and that spinning kick of his, man.
Right. Damien hitting those two big splashes on Tama in the corner, going for the third. Oh, catching him and the flatliner.
Yeah, during that little spiel, he knocked down Tama Tonga. I was looking for Tama Tonga to get back in the ring and run a big boot on him or something. Well, here he comes.
Those were some awkward knee bends there for Tama Tonga.
I'm not even sure what Damien was trying to do there. And Solo showing up at ringside, even though Tama Tonga and Tama Tonga told him not to.
Yeah. And now Tala saying, what are you doing here? Tala, who really has been Solo's biggest supporter.
Well, Solo just became Tala's biggest sacrifice.
Yes. And Damien escaping the clutches of that choke slam into the table.
Well, R-Truth and Damien Priest have just retained, but R-Truth was never tagged in.
No, he was not.
R-Truth was a legal man.
Oh, he was?
He made a blind tag.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. But I am not a fan of that finish.
I am. It was a distraction that worked against the Tongas.
I am okay with
this. Is kind of a gripe I'm starting to find. They're booking the baby faces way too indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
My big issue,
like all the drama is happening with the heels, and it makes the heels more sympathetic at this point. because I care more about the story of what's going on with the MFTs than I am about celebrating the win of the baby faces right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good thing.
No.
I should be liking the fact that the bad guys are imploding. And I should be happy that the tag champions won.
Yeah. And now Tama and Tala walking away from Solo. But I'm also not a big fan of these victories by roll-up. It's happening way too often. We need to go back to the finishers to end a match.
Man, there's a lot of heat right now between Sami and Nick.
Well, that shirt stayed.
Yeah. I like how Sami said, I didn't ask to be in the middle of this, but he kind of interjected himself into the middle of this before Gunther picked him as the referee.
Yep. But then it was Nick Aldis who did make it official.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he was trying to deal with Cody by himself. And then Gunther came in and kind of forced his hand in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was told pretty much to stay out of it, but he was just trying to handle his stuff with Cody. So he really didn't once try to put himself in between there. They kind of, and like Gunther has forced Sami into this a little bit more than Sami has forced himself in this.
I mean, yeah, with Gunther picking Sami to be the referee, that was just that was Gunther's fault for sure.
Well, I mean, we're only saying it's his fault because it didn't work out for him. But what I don't understand is the same reason why Nick Aldis got mad at Sami, the way he got mad at Gunther, because it was unjust. He could have came up to him professionally and be like, hey, there was no need for you to do a fast count there.
Yeah.
You were doing your job. What was that? They could have been civil.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis came in with anger, and that wasn't going to resolve it. So he got exactly the correct response out of Sami because he brought that energy in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's funny because, like, in a span of a month or so, we're going from Sami and Trick at WrestleMania, and we're like, oh, Sami needs to go heel. Now I feel Sami is the one guy out of this who's making the most sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong, Cody is like doing what he's supposed to be doing. But at some point, Cody has to use that swagger of being the champion, that shtick that comes with it, that power that comes with it. And he has to put his foot down and do the right thing too. And we're not really seeing him doing that. He's just using it for his own self cause,
Yeah.
like we saw earlier, like restart the match. He's doing this to save face on himself, but he needs to make things right around him. That's what a good captain that he likes to refer to himself does.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, I think Parrish, you're right, because we do have coming up next, it looks like Mello and Saints. And I think you're right. I think that this is where we go to that triple threat match. I think we're going to, I'm leaning more towards the idea of us seeing that number one contenders match at Night of Champions, or even next week on SmackDown.
Yeah. The only thing I don't want to see out of this match is that Trick is on the outside watching, or he's on commentary, or he's sitting down, he's watching the match, and they do a spot where somebody hits him. Maybe Ricky Saints goes to hit him.
Yeah.
And then he screws Ricky Saints, so Trick gets the thing, or even vice versa. Like one of the two. And then we see that person who doesn't win get involved in the match at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Because if that happens, well, I'm just saying how predictable it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't need Trick to be at ringside at all during this matchup.
No. And I don't need his sitcom dad mouthpiece there either.
Yeah, you do. You miss the Liotti.
Yeah, he does.
Come on, Father's Day's coming up. And you just referred to him as Trick's daddy. So
No, I said the sitcom dad. I didn't call him Trick's daddy.
Either way, you called him daddy. That's all that we needed to get out of the way. Father's Day is coming up, so of course he needs to be here.
Oh. Looks like we're going to Jay and Javon.
Wow.
And it looks like Jey Uso, whatever Javon Evans looked like he's on, I think Jay's on more of it.
Okay, I thought we were going to that match, but it looks like we're just getting a quick little promo between the two men.
Jey Uso saying, keep that energy for when we're out there and I make you my son. I'm getting real worried about these guys in the locker room now. And we are going to Mello versus Trick as here come, or Mello versus Saints as here comes Mello.
I think Carmelo Hayes needs more jackets that match his gear.
Yeah.
Let's not forget these guys are 1-1 against each other.
Yes.
So this is kind of the rubber match, but also a match that has the highest of kind of risk and reward to it.
Yes.
And let's not forget, in that first match, as we just saw, Mello did use the ropes to get the victory over Ricky Saints.
He did, because he used Ricky Saints' own methods against him. Then they went to a double count out. Then we had a match where Ricky won by pulling on the tights. So, neither of these men are afraid to break the rules and cheat to win.
Hey, they're just taking advantage of every advantage given to them.
Exactly.
I love that. Some bad flips off Ricky Saints, kind of takes offense to it, then just continues on his way.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we're looking at when Ricky Saints 2 weeks ago defeated Mello.
Yep.
I like that look on Mello's face as he's watching Ricky Saints do his entrance. He's already thinking like 5 or 6 steps ahead on how he's going to beat Ricky Saints.
But Mello not jumping the bell. Mello staying back. Now he's getting into Saints' face.
So in a weird way, a sport team of us is all represented in this one match.
Yep.
We got Ricky Saints, who's named after the New Orleans Saints, wearing Bengals colors, whereas Carmelo Hayes is wearing Toronto Maple Leaf colors.
Right? And yet they're in Kansas City. But nobody wants to represent the Chiefs.
No. Their color scheme is awful. And only...
Well, to be fair, Melo's
about
also wearing the blue and white, which is the colors of the Royals as well.
Yes, it is. But it's not that powder blue.
But it is a royal blue.
This is regular blue.
Actually, his tights actually remind me of AJ Styles.
Yeah. Very much so.
Beautiful running bulldog from Ricky Saints there.
Ricky Saints has now started to take control of the match.
Now, I know we don't see Trick at ringside or anything like that. And I don't want this to happen, but does he get involved in some way?
I hope not. I'm gonna say no. I think right now we've been getting a little too much interference or whatever, especially with Cody, Sami, and Gunther. So I just say let these two fight it out, and then
I'm
Trick can come in after, and then we go there.
No, I
mean, especially after. I was gonna say, like, imagine if the walkout from Trick after this match happens at the same time as the person who loses walks out, and we have that. We can use that as a foreshadow of what could happen after, or if Trick does what.
Yeah. I'm going to say no as well. And I mean, obviously, I don't want to see it, but I think this is one where Trick wants to have that clarity and that defined winner as opposed to another triple threat match or another, fatal four-way that we've really seen him get into a lot of multi-man matches early on, not counting WrestleMania.
But I will say this: I'm actually glad that if Tiffany does accept Jade's challenge, I'm glad that both U.S. titles will be represented at Night of Champions.
Yeah,
and I'm actually glad to see that the U.S. Women's Championship will be on a PLE.
Yes.
I gotta say, I like how Ricky is just keeping on Carmelo here because they both understand just how how important the situation is for both men. Because as we stated, whoever wins this match gets that shot at Trick Williams.
Yeah. But I mean, even when Melo had control, he was staying on Trick. Ricky's just slowed the pace down, whereas Melo was, doing a lot more high risk.
And that's just smart wrestling, slowing the pace down.
Yeah.
Making sure Melo doesn't take to the air. But I think he's taking too much time with this rope walk.
No, he's still able to come down and get that club on the shoulder.
Yeah, I do wish he would have a little bit more of a beatdown opponent when he does that, because he does take a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think what could be the downfall of Saints here if he's not successful is the amount of showboating he does after he's executed a big move.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do love that wrenching on the neck as he applies that rear chin lock there.
Yeah.
Now, as these two are going on, I just want to remind everyone that we are at 231 on the YouTube on subscriber count. We are 8 away from hitting our goal at 250 on Twitch. So if you haven't, hit that like, hit that follow button, and please make sure you subscribe to the channels. And that does help out a lot as well. We are still trying to hit that Twitch affiliation status. So please let everybody know that we're live right now on Twitch. Now, I do think with this US title, we can really add a few more names to the mix. I do hope that no matter what happens, that this is the last time we kind of see Carmelo against Ricky for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we could see a couple extra faces, whether it's Dragunov, maybe Gargano, maybe Cardona, maybe even Royce Keys, who knows? But just some fresh faces getting into that title scene, or at least that picture.
I'd even throw in Finn Balor getting into that picture.
Well, and I was going to go to Shinsuke Nakamura.
And I wouldn't mind that simply because I just want to see Finn Balor getting that push to the championship.
Yeah.
Like him and Cody would be so fresh.
Yeah. What a DDT there by Mello. And Ricky just able to roll the shoulder up.
If Shinsuke is to do something with one of these two, does it really matter which one? Would you care if it's Ricky or if it's Carmelo? Because both would be fresh. And I wouldn't mind seeing Shinsuke be more of the aggressor if it's Carmelo.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see Mello a little bit more. Just because Ricky, for me, on the main roster, it still hasn't been enough. And this is, I mean, really, you guys said it. Like, I hope this is the finality for a little bit because this is getting a little bit stagnant between them.
I just think that regardless of whoever Shinsuke steps up against, it's going to be an entertaining match.
Yeah.
And that's it. If it is Shinsuke, I'm just because it was thrown out there.
Yeah. Just presenting a scenario, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, who else could we see get involved outside of Shinsuke and Nakamura? Like, is this just maybe this is where we need to start benefiting and using the mid card scene a little bit more?
Yeah. And see, this was like 2-3 months ago. I would have said somebody like Apollo Crews, but he's no longer a part of the WWE. So,
well, and I mean, I would even still, like, after tonight, I would have to look at Tema and Talatonga in there.
I think that they're still going to gun after the tag titles after that. But I mean, Solo's not really doing anything. Why not put him in this situation? And I know that, like, we're all ready to see him go after Cody.
Yeah.
With Tama and Finn having that moment a couple weeks ago, or I think it was just even last week, with Finn being on SmackDown, obviously going back to their past, and now them walking out of Solo, could we see maybe Finn and Tama kind of pair up with Tala, and then maybe we see Solo kind of on his own?
Well, I suggested that a little while back, and I think I got to agree with what Mr. Best said, and I'd like to see Finn on his own for a little bit instead of trying to reform the club.
And let's not forget, I mean, we're going to bring him up again, but Shinsuke's been kind of planting those seeds of doubt in Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
And through that, maybe with what happened there, maybe through that, the seeds of doubt got planted into Tala through Tama.
Yeah.
Well, because Tala himself through the Japan door as well. Like he's So it's not like he's part of the Bullet Club as well at one point. So it could just go from Solo going from what he thinks is his family tree to a brotherhood that the others kind of had before. Ooh, we do see that exposed turnbuckle now come into play.
I gotta say, I liked that sequence of moves that happened there.
Yeah. What I don't like is very shortly after they established the MFTs as the dominant faction, now all of a sudden they're falling apart. Like, you are supposed to be the dominant group on SmackDown. They should be carrying gold, whether it's singles or tag team.
But are they really the dominant group there? Because Jade Cargill, Meechin, and BFAB would like to have something to say to you. The fatal influence has also been dominant as well. They've been far more dominant than the MFTs have been lately.
Yes, but I'm also talking about the male locker room.
I mean, I would also argue MFTs have held more main roster championships than the other groups, though.
Yeah.
Whether it's US and tag, I mean, you got the two there.
And Carmelo just took that exposed turnbuckle to the back. And that's going to do it.
Out cold.
Ricky Saints is our number one contender, guys. I'm kind of happy about this.
Yep.
I like it for a couple of reasons. One, it gives Ricky Saints a reason to go and do something. It gives us a fresh thing for him, whether it's him and Trick. But at the same time, it makes us kind of wait for that Trick and Mello kind of story, which I'm okay with, because now that Trick Williams is in that babyface role like Carmelo Hayes, it's not needed right now.
No.
Yeah, and I'd be okay. I'd be okay with them starting that up after Trick loses. If Trick does lose to Ricky Saints, I'd be okay with them starting that up afterwards.
I don't see Trick losing the U.S. title to Ricky Saints. I think he is just too over and way too popular right now.
But do you test that and see if he can make the jump up? Or do you then look at, okay, well, if we were to put somebody else in that United States Championship role, do we at least now look and test to see what Trick can do at the next level? And then we have an answer of whether or not we do it now or we wait a little bit.
I would rather wait a little bit on seeing if Trick is ready for that next level. Just give him the summer at least to do it before you hot shot him. I frankly think he got hot shotted to the U.S. title too quickly.
I kind of look at that mid-card title as a way to really see kind of where you just kind of stand. I mean, he was feuding with, or he was in the ring with all the main eventers right away. So, and he was holding his own. He was getting the reaction. So I don't know if the mid-card title and the U.S. title was really hot-shotted. I think it was kind of like, this is where we know he's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, let's run it.
Cody just made the challenge for a triple threat match at Night of Champions.
Yes, he did.
But right now we've got Charlotte talking about her match upcoming with Liv Morgan later tonight. And if I'm Charlotte in that match, I would want to have Alexa Bliss at ringside just in case the other two women in the Judgment Day come out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not just that, but you also have to wonder, are we going to see Jade, Meechin, BFAB, any one of those three? Because you'd have to wonder that that's not completely settled.
No. And then if that's the case, then you have to have Tiffany Stratton come out. This is where this is going to be. This could be a powder keg, this matchup here.
Yes.
But if Tiffany gets involved, Chelsea Green might get involved. Chelsea Green gets involved. I mean, who knows who else? I mean, you'd also think Fatal Influence could get involved because that's just what they do.
Yep. And let's not forget about the potential of Kiana James and Julia. Julia being a former U.S. champion. Anybody can get in there and just throw. We may end up having to have a battle royal for the U.S. championship.
Well, I think you can I think those two are the ones you can definitely take away because of they kind of cancel each other out.
Right.
In a sense of, well, Jordan Grace ain't going to get involved because, well, for whatever reason, they don't want to put her on SmackDown. We know Blake Monroe's not getting involved.
Right, because she's still coming soon.
Yeah. But she's been laying her threats to women like Charlotte and all that, even though tonight it was against Julia. I think she's doing that to actually just put the entire women's locker room on notice for SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then, two women we haven't mentioned, Nia Jax / Legend. We have no idea where they stand in the landscape of the women's division right now. And you can't think they just want to sit on the sidelines.
No.
So, I mean, that's kind of why I do think the women's division on SmackDown is very rotating in that sense of everyone almost has a pathway to someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very convoluted, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Because it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you on your feet, and that's kind of the department here on SmackDown where having the number game works to your advantage most of the time. And I say that because, well, Jade and her squad have really failed at that when it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. But guys, if you guys are looking for a pathway into podcasting or anything else production related, take a look at this.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. And if you have ever wanted your break in podcasting content creation or to help us out behind the scenes, hit the join button. Send us your creds via email. Tell us how you can help us, how we can help you. We will sit down as a collective and find the right fit. All of that and so much more. Turnbucklestudios.org.
But yeah, you guys are right. The women's division on SmackDown is it's firing on all cylinders, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I just wish that they would put a little bit more focus on the United States title, and it didn't really seem like they did when Julia was champion. And if we want to talk about hot-shotting, they hot-shotted the living you-know-what with Tiffany Stratton going into there and becoming champion.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no stories that led us to believe that. It was out of the blue. You had a title match. Now it's number one contendership. And all of a sudden, Jordan Grace is back. And then she's gone again. Then all of a sudden, she's champion.
I mean, I will say this. I am glad that potentially, if Tiffany does accept, that we are going to finally see the Women's United States title on a PLE.
Yeah. And I can't see why Tiffany wouldn't accept. She's got history with Jade and wants to get revenge on that loss that when Jade took the women's championship from her and put her out of action.
Yeah. And we have to also wonder that if Tiffany Stratton's champion going into SummerSlam, that'll definitely be on the card as it is in her hometown in Minnesota.
Yes.
And there's been, from what I understand, huge internal pushes to ensure that both Tiffany Stratton and Chad Gable are prominently used at SummerSlam.
Yeah. But right now we got Danhausen experimenting on Kit Wilson and The Miz, and Berto and Garza not being happy about the loss of their bet that they made against the Knicks.
Well, you know who's okay with that? Matt Cardona, who's now in the fold.
Yep.
Well,
Now we got R-Truth and Finn Balor. What?
R-Truth really I think this is why people drink on the job, is because I think R-Truth kind of enforces that out of you.
What?
Oh, R-Truth. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love R-Truth and I love these kind of segments, but I do think you could have something serious between Damien and Finn, or Damien and Royce Keys, where it kind of does take away from that seriousness that you're kind of putting to the side.
Yeah. As right now, Jey Uso is making his way down to the ring.
It's great that we're getting a pure Raw match on SmackDown.
Right?
Right?
And it kind of has me to believe that Charlotte's going to win this match because of the fact that she is the only SmackDown representation in the quarterfinal.
Right?
Oh.
You know, and it's funny because when Jay is with the Bloodline and on Raw, he's wearing black, he's all emotional. When he's coming out here on SmackDown for these matches, he's coming back out in the bright colors, all jovial, coming through the crowd, happy and doing the complete baby face.
Yeah, it's almost like you're getting those two sides of Jay,
Yeah.
where it's like he's just different when he's by himself, and then obviously he's different when he's around the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, when he was with the Bloodline, he solidified himself as one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yep.
When he went on his own and did his own thing, he became a world heavyweight champion.
Yep.
So you can't really argue the
No.
success of Jey Uso in any way.
No, you can't.
But I will say, I don't need him as King of the Ring, and I don't care for him as King of the Ring.
See, and I would rather see Jay as the king of the ring than Obafemi.
See, and that's the thing. I think I'd rather see Oba in a main event spot than a reenact Jay, than Javon Evans, clearly. At least Oba is realistic in that. I still thought Jay and Jimmy were supposed to bring back life in the tag division on Raw.
Jimmy's just become everybody's errand boy in the bloodline and is trying to be that bridge and peacemaker as opposed to actually being a serious competitor anymore.
Well, and that's kind of where I kind of look at the whole, no, WWE is trying to bring back the tag team division. Okay, and then why aren't you using the Usos to benefit that? Why are you then taking this amazing act that you have, one of the most iconic acts you have, and it's not being helped to make it better? I mean, if you had one of the best athletes on your team, you're going to put them in a position to where it makes the team better.
Yeah.
But you're not going to say, hey, look, I got this powerful duo. Like, I got Shaq and I got Kobe. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to only play Kobe when Shaq is on the bench. And then when I want Kobe on the bench, then I'll put Shaq in.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense to how it could be better. And that's not even going against why they release so many tag teams.
Right.
But
while we are in this commercial break, if you gentlemen will excuse me for just a moment.
I'm drawing a blank right now on who the Raw Tag Team Champions are.
The Vision.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while since they defended, Theory. So I kind of forgot.
Well, they're being defended on Monday.
Yeah.
Profits are getting their title shot against Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, and I do think we're going to see new champions as Braun Breaker then focuses on his steel cage match at Night of Champions against Seth Rollins. But this is where I'm very intrigued, because we've seen the foreshadow of whether or not Solo gets involved. We've seen the foreshadow of what happens with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any foreshadow with Jimmy. We definitely won't get anything with Roman, because he will not appear on two shows in the same week.
No.
But I wonder, are we going to get somebody like an LA Knight getting involved? Are we going to see somebody who's opposed to the bloodline get involved in this? Could we even see somebody from the Vision get involved? That's always something. It's very much possible.
I think the most likely candidate would be LA Knight, because I still think that at Saturday night's main event in Madison Square Garden, I think we're going to a Jay and LA Knight match at that show.
Yeah, I mean, I also would not dislike if they put that into a SummerSlam match either.
Yeah.
But like, with that being said, like I don't know who I think should win here, because I don't necessarily think Jey Uso needs King of the Ring. I don't want to see him versus Cody. At this point, I don't even want to see him versus Roman.
Yeah.
And, well, a lot of people said Javon Evans and Obafemi was Obafemi's best match in NXT. So we could see something along that again. However, I just don't think Obafemi is going to give the same match with. I don't think we're going to get that same match on the main roster than in NXT.
Yeah.
No.
But regardless of who wins in this matchup, I do see Obafemi taking the crown solely because it's just going to help him continue this dominant run that they've been putting him on since the 2 Brock Lesnar matches.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Oba compete twice at SummerSlam. I want to get him and Brock 3 out of the way. That's it.
Well, that could be Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
That's a big match for Madison Square Garden.
That's huge. But I mean, again, do I want it to be a case of, is that Brock Lesnar's farewell match if he loses at Madison Square, or do we find another opponent for him for SummerSlam if he's going to retire there in his home state?
I don't even think we're going to see Brock Lesnar retire at SummerSlam.
No.
But like, I will say this: if we get that trilogy match at Madison Square Garden, we get Obafemi and Roman at SummerSlam. This could open the door for Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if they do retire, and if Brock does retire, it's going to be because they're going to bring Gunther back into that career killer gimmick. They've already been, when he comes to the ring, it already says career killer on his Titantron. So,
and I think that has really painted Gunther into a corner. I think Gunther needs that title win next weekend.
Okay, but you can still do Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam for the title, and Gunther still retires Brock and retains the title, thus keeping the championship on.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then defending the title. You can have Obafemi then go after Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Yeah, if
Oba were to win.
Again, have Brock beat Gunther and then Brock takes the career gimmick out.
Again, and I feel that Obafemi just doesn't need to be, again, hot-shotted. I think they're pushing all of these guys that they called up from NXT maybe a little too quickly with, like I said, Trick, Oba, now Ricky Saints.
I think one of the big problems with Oba is if you don't give him like a tournament like this, you don't give him the Brock Lesnar's, you don't give him the big guys to work with, he's just going to have squash matches, and I think that's worse.
Yep.
It is, and that's why I want to see him. I would much rather have seen him work with some big guys leading into the first match with Brock, leading into the second match with Brock.
But these are going to be matches you want on your PLEs to draw more money. You want that to draw more attention to your bigger shows. You just don't give that away all the time.
No, but I mean, I also don't want to see, Oba in these positions right away. I want to have something meaningful for him, as opposed to I'm a monster and I'm crushing everybody.
World heavyweight title match at SummerSlam is pretty damn meaningful.
Mm-hmm. I don't want him in that title picture. I don't see him as being ready. And I will be cheering.
He's ready if you don't give him an opportunity.
No, but I will be, I would be cheering Roman over Oba.
Yeah. But if the story is awesome and the match delivers, your tune could be completely changed. And you're like, damn, okay, I want to see this again at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I just don't care enough about Obafemi. I'll be honest.
Well, we've got 6 weeks for you to start caring.
I'm already he was far more entertaining and far more enjoyable in NXT.
But I need something over this bloodline. What, 5.0, 4.0? Where are we on the rendition scale?
I don't know.
But and it's SummerSlam. It needs a big time main event, and I think that's going to be a good one, unless you go with. So you do Cody and Oba, as you got that teaser in December.
Yeah.
Or you do Gunther and Oba. As that could be possible.
It is.
But as we've seen at the start of this matchup, Javon Evans has pretty much had the advantage for a good chunk of it.
Well, and that's... We know Javon likes to fly. He likes to keep the pace up.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy likes to kind of do the same thing. But I think we can say, when it comes to the two guys and their athleticism, Javon has that edge. What Jay has is the experience. He needs to slow the pace down, and he needs to be methodical. And I think that is something he needs to start adding to his repertoire if he wants to be taken more as a serious main contributor in the bloodline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've already seen it too at the start of this match with Jay getting frustrated quite easily. That could be the downfall of this match, because you get too hot-headed, Javon could seize advantage of that, and just suddenly you're beat. You're down for the 3 count.
Well, we've talked about Jay and his pure emotion. And this is where you have to wonder if Jay wins. And he was given the instructions by Roman to win the King of the Ring and go and challenge and take the title from Cody. Is that a situation where maybe Jay, even though he's hot-headed, takes over control of the MFT?
I'm not sure.
Could you see him? We know that he and Jacob have had this war of words and this battle of emotions. Could he say, Solo, go back to Raw, go see Roman, Jacob, you're with me, and then have him align with the MFT?
Hear me out. Say that happens, and he goes over to SmackDown. What if the MFTs, like in Tala and Tama, what if they turn on Solo and join Roman? And then Roman has Jacob and the MFT. Then Jimmy goes over to SmackDown, joins Jay, Solo go in, and you got 3 brothers going against them. And then this is where you could bring in Zillifa to combat.
Yeah.
And then it's 4-on-4.
Yep. Or would that be the place where the Usos go back to the well, and do they bring back Sami Uso?
I hope not. Sami has his own thing going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sami's got too much on his plate right now with the World Heavyweight title and this whatever is going on with him and Johnny Gargano as well.
Now, let's say that Sami somehow wins that triple threat next weekend miraculously. Because I know we're all anticipating Sami to headline WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia next year.
I can care less about that narrative.
But let's say he wins in that test run. Then you go to Jay and Sami at SummerSlam. And you're getting that family thing again. And again, 2 guys fueled by pure emotion in Jay and Sami.
That was a very smooth kip up from the suplex there.
Yeah.
But he's caring too much about playing to the crowd. And I'm feeling this is kind of a theme in this match, and it's really losing me.
And I've said this before, I'll say it again, but sometimes playing to the crowd, that could be the ultimate downfall for you.
And I need Javon just to kind of shut up. Stop repeating what you're saying. Throw a punch. Throw a better looking punch, by the way. His punches are terrible.
Now, was that supposed to be a Samoan drop, or was it a crossbody, or what?
A Samoan drop.
It was a Samoan drop.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. Barely.
No, he got it on pretty correctly.
And Jay ripping that shirt off, exposing the taped up ribs of Javon Evans.
And this is what Jay needs to do. He needs to focus in and get aggressive.
Yeah.
He needs to be a shark smelling blood. And the blood is those taped up ribs.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that because that's exactly what he looked like when he was stalking Javon just now. But I think what he needs to do in this point, instead of taunting Javon, is just continue on the attack.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Both men are giving each other too much opportunities to get back into the fight. Oh, nice pendulum backbreaker. There's a guy actually with a Chiefs jersey out there. That's ironic.
All this taunting and teasing, Jay, it's not good because all you're doing is, as Parrish had said, just you're giving Javon that space to recover.
Sadly, that is something about Javon Evans that he needs to learn to do better, and that is understand when he puts himself in a position that it's more risk than reward.
Yeah.
And when he leaves his feet, he needs to be 100% certain that it's a reward. Because he is, I'm going to say the word, he is too fragile for these amount of risks.
Yeah.
We saw it happen. I can't remember who his opponent was when he it was Ethan Page, I think, when he broke his jaw in NXT. And now we're seeing this again. And I know that he wants to be a little more true to himself, and he said, you know, I will deliberately overshoot, but why? Make the impact.
I mean, it's what I see in sports just in general now. Too much pretty and not enough effective.
Yeah.
Like, the greats get it done. The highlight reel is always pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a highlight reel. Be the GOAT. And the GOATs don't care about being on a highlight reel. But I'm very surprised with how long this match is going.
Yeah. Jay, take the count out victory. Don't go out there chasing him.
He's not going to get a count out victory on a slap.
Have a seat, Jay.
I can say the same with Javon.
Now, if this were an ECW crowd, Javon would be crowd surfing right now.
Yep.
Imagine if both men get counted out and Oba just wins.
Right? I was going to say, I could see that with this match, to be honest.
I thought Jay had it there. But then again, if Jay were to win, it's more than likely he's going to win off the Uso splash.
Yeah.
Or a spear.
Yeah. Which it looks like that's where Jay is looking to go right now, is up top.
But there comes Javon. Is he going to go for a superplex or is he going to go for something a little more high risk?
I don't think you're going to beat Jay that easy.
No. But that's a move that's already, I mean, I know we've seen it the last few weeks with Javon doing that. And every time he's ready to go into the crowd, and I'm just waiting for the day where he completely overshoots both barricades.
Well, I'm waiting for the person who ducks. It's like the cartoon where he ducks and then just...
So the Fireflies are back in the crowd again, and it's during a Jay segment. So I'm wondering if, since the Wyatt Six are out, did Jay just adopt the Fireflies again?
I mean, they were his before Bray came back.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the yeeters of the world.
I suppose so.
Javon kicking out of that spear.
I was going to say, it looked like Jay used his head on that spear more so than the shoulder.
It looked like he went high and got the chest and not the ribs.
Yeah.
Looked more like Ilya's like running it, but I'll say he's been hitting that move pretty well lately.
Yeah. Now doing his best.
Falling off the turnbuckle because Jay pushed him.
Yeah. Jay with that next, another spear high.
And now the Uso splash here. This has got to be it.
Yeah.
So now it's down to Jay and Oba.
Looks like a bottom grill defeats the entire grill.
Yep.
That was a hell of a camera shot on a super kick, though.
Yeah.
Jay even looked like he took the wind out of his sails on that spot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, people are going to be tired at the entrances on these two.
Right. Jay's still standing in the middle of the ring. Are we going to get that sign of respect here?
That's what it looks like.
Jay raising Javon Evans' hand. I mean, in his short career, and I mean, I know a lot of us think he was hot-shotted from NXT too quickly to the main roster. This is the guy who has faced Randy Orton in NXT. Has now gone one-on-one with members of the Vision, now with the Usos. So he's stacked up a good career resume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I just would have loved to see him like win a title in NXT.
Yeah,
kind of build like an actual resume there, and then actually be a factor in that brand.
All right, Solo, where are you heading?
That's Jacob.
Or I mean Jacob. Well, Solo's heading somewhere too to talk to Jacob.
And Solo delivers a message to Jacob to send to Roman that he needs to stop messing with his family or he's going to go to his show and mess with Roman's.
Is this Solo possibly stepping up against Roman and being the next contender for his title?
Could this be where we do see Zillafod 2 show up? Because let's remember that when Tama Tonga was signed, we didn't hear the official signing for sure. We just heard rumblings that they were interested.
So next week we're getting Julia versus Kiana James, but right now Tiffany Stratton, I believe she was about to accept Jade's challenge.
Tiffany did accept Jade's challenge. And prior to that, we also saw Julia issue a challenge to Kiana James to face her next week on SmackDown in the city in which she was born, London.
Tiffany Stratton has kind of thrown Chelsea away.
Yeah, saying that she doesn't need her help.
Well, she's always been reluctant towards Chelsea, as opposed to Chelsea really wanting this to be a team that worked.
Well, she asked too, like, for a year, you've watched me get beat up. You've kind of didn't do anything for me, and now you all of a sudden you just want to be my friend. So I mean, like Tiffany, she got her success by doing things on her own. She wasn't getting anywhere near the title when Nia was there. She had to break free to get it.
Yep.
I mean, say what you want about how she got the U.S. title and just how quick that was, but she did it.
Yep.
So can't really fault Tiffany Stratton for just wanting to kind of keep the aura of DTA around.
Yep.
Now, Tiffany Stratton may want to keep that DTA around, but you can trust us when we tell you to go check out our shop.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
And ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, and we encourage you to head over to our shop, support your favorite shows and your favorite podcasters. Wear what we wear. All of the proceeds come back into our studios to bring you a better experience. And when you make that purchase, send us a photo, tag us on the socials, show us what you bought. We will give you a shout out live on air during one or more of our many weekly programs. And to put your mind at ease, the site is powered by redbubble.com, so it is 100% safe and secure. All of that and more, turnbucklestudios.org.
But yeah, both Raw and SmackDown will be emanating from London next week. But we will still be on our regular time here with the Raw Patrol and the SmackDown Security Detail.
Yes.
And this leaves us with one last match, and that is Liv Morgan versus Charlotte. Now, we didn't see any shenanigans with Jey Uso and Javon Evans, nor did we really need it.
No.
We kind of just wouldn't be surprised if we got some.
Yeah. But I also think we've had maybe a little too many shenanigans in the first couple of matches that now you're going to go to this. We can't discount whether Roxanne or Raquel or both are going to accompany Liv to the ringside area. But we've also seen a lot of they'll come out to the top of the ramp and then go to the back throughout this tournament.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see one person be at ringside with Liv while the other one then shows up later, because that's just what the Judgment Day does.
Yeah.
They get involved.
Yeah.
But I, again, wouldn't be surprised if Alexa Bliss also counters that and shows up alongside Charlotte.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying earlier tonight when Charlotte was cutting her promo. I said Alexa Bliss needs to be at ringside because of what the Judgment Day does.
Also, we do want to let everybody know that Turnbuckle Studios is partnering up with Dubby. So if you want to go to dubby.gg, use the code word TB Studios and receive your discount at checkout. You can just have a lot of fun drinking some of those great flavors. You can even shop and get some merchandise, some shakers, some hats, all that good stuff. Just when you do, use our promo code, because we don't want you paying full price when you don't have to, because we know this economy, it's like a vacuum. It sucks and blows at the same time. So use that code and help yourself out. It's TB Studios at checkout for 10% off. We're getting these vignette segments with one, Liv Morgan. Now we're getting one of Bella and Paige.
Mm-hmm.
They are set to defend their women's tag titles on Raw on Monday against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Now, Paige and Brie have quickly kind of ran through the tag team division.
They really have.
But they have yet to defend against Lyra and Bayley from, in the sense of a straight up match.
Yes.
Do we think this is the time we see Brie and Paige finally meet their match?
It's very, very possible.
I'm going to say no. I think that Paige and Brie are going to retain. But I also think that it's going to be something outside that cost Bayley and Lyra, and I think we are going to get that heel turn from Bayley and Lyra, and I think it's something that we may need from them for them to have that success.
As we now get a backstage or promo with Fatal Influence, it's kind of dawned on me. What if say we kind of combine the two? Say we get that heel turn mid-match with Bayley and Lyra, and they steal the tag titles. Then Brie and Paige, who are free agents, are in SmackDown. Then they work with Fatal Influence. What happens if this is where we see the returning Nikki Bella, and it's those three against Fatal Influence, almost like past versus present?
Well, Fatal Influence did lay their claim just now to getting the next title shot, and they challenged Paige to a one-on-one match next week on SmackDown.
Yeah, JC Jane.
Yeah,
that is.
It's interesting to note that we haven't seen anything out of Royce Keys tonight.
And Sami Zayn tells Jay that he doesn't think he's going to be facing Cody if he wins. He thinks he'll be facing Sami.
Yes.
And then asks, then what do we do? As Jay said, I'm going to do what I have to do. And that seems to upset Sami, not to the point of anger or frustration, but more in the realization that Sami doesn't feel he can trust people because he now sees this as another so-called friend of his not caring about the friendship.
Yeah, and then saying, you know what, say hi to the family for me. You touched on the idea earlier of Sami potentially going back to Raw, and I wonder if that happens after Night of Champions if he doesn't win. Does he just get so ticked off, so frustrated that he quits SmackDown? And then does he go back and does he find, because we know of his history with the Bloodline, but we also know that he has worked alongside Jacob in the past.
Okay. I'll answer that in a second, but gotta love the graphic of Braun with the tag title, which doesn't look like it's fully on his body, but it's good enough to cover the white banner part of the first hour on ESPN, whereas on the other side, it blends into the skin of Seth Rollins. So I'm just loving the graphic there. You see it here. They fade, but it was for over top. Oh, just funny. But it just seems like, every piece of this bloodline seems to be replaying. And this just is another one of those potential foreshadows that may be happening again.
If, let's say we do go to Sami and Jay at SummerSlam, does Roman send somebody else in there, another member of the family, to keep the peace in that match?
No. Because I think at this point, he cares more about Jay winning than Sami.
Yes, we know that the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring will receive championship opportunities at SummerSlam.
This is brand new information. Thank you, Sonic, for sponsoring a Did You Know? That was just as obvious. the fact SmackDown is the blue brand.
Oh.
As we're seeing Jade and Charlotte on our screens, as Charlotte's trying to make her way to the ring, met by Jade, B-Fab, and Michin.
Mm-hmm.
Could this be...
Jade, B-Fab, and Michin are attacking Charlotte and are attacking the leg that she wears the brace on.
Okay.
And let's not forget, Adam Pearce told Maxine, if by chance there's an opening, it would be Maxine taking that spot.
Yeah.
Do we see them jumping Maxine in tonight in this position, or do we see potentially Nick Aldis say, well, Liv needs an opponent, and all of a sudden we maybe get Raquel or Roxanne versus Liv?
Or this is where returning Stephanie Vaquer is.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I do know that there's a bunch of other things that we can see with the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, starting off with our shop.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday night we are on call as the Raw Patrol is on duty at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursdays let us power your dreams with the Xbox Showcase at 9 p.m. Friday we invite you to come for a ride with the SmackDown SecuiryDetail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later in the day, the Locker Room presents Wrestling Recap Delivers at 7 p.m. Always be aware that weekend shows can vary in times, as the PLE Patrol and other watch party streams are always a must-see. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day and watch all of the latest episodes on turnbucklestudios.org/shows. And please do not forget to drop a like, follow, and to subscribe to all of our channels, and when the time is right, all you have to do is tap in.
And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Turnbucklestudios.org is your home for the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. Again, you just saw our shop video. You saw our calendar. There is something there for you each and every night of the week, and we want you to meet the team behind those shows. Mr. Best, Mr. Parrish, myself, Bubba Duke, Logan Thompson, and the Godfather, Carl Carafel. Click on each of our individual links to get our socials and watch our latest weekly live episodic programs. All of that and more, turnbucklestudios.org.
I was trying to play the third ad, but it wouldn't play. That was weird.
Now, do we, before we got that attack on Charlotte, I was going to say, if I was Liv Morgan, I would use this as an opportunity to strike a deal with Jade Cargill and her group.
Yeah.
And say, if you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours later.
Yeah.
Because these are groups that could come together very quickly because we know Survivor Series is down the road.
Yes.
They very well could be teammates in a War Games match if War Games is, again, taking part at Survivor Series. But because not only Liv Morgan is walking by a fallen Charlotte, we're not seeing anybody with Liv Morgan.
No.
So, yeah, you mentioned nobody accompanying Liv Morgan to the ring, but that doesn't mean that they're not there and couldn't strike as well when Charlotte tries to make her entrance, if Charlotte is cleared to compete.
Of course, no. And that's one thing about Judgment Day. They always get involved. We see that time in and time out. We know that JD McDonough gets involved every time Dom's there, and Dom does the same for JD.
Yeah.
And even going back when Finn Balor was a part of the group, we saw that as well.
I mean, dare I say it, even back when Edge started the group, it was always a numbers game with the Judgment Day.
Seems like if there's one thing the Judgment Day does very well is show that unity within the group, as even though we've seen cracks, they never seem to break.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't always say that about other groups.
Charlotte going to attempt to
challenging her intestinal fortitude and making it her out to the ring right now.
And you have to wonder, if you're Liv Morgan, do you attack her like during this entrance? Do you attack her right off the bell? But you have to strike first if you're Liv Morgan.
I attack her the moment she gets into the ring.
Yeah, I jump the bell in this situation.
Well, if that's the case, do you not do it right now?
You should.
If you do it before the bell, you do it right now, because you know mobility is not going to be on Charlotte's side. In fact, the longer you wait, the more opportunity you give Charlotte to get feeling back, to understand the pain threshold, and to really really kind of get that game plan. Because not only just is she experiencing the physicality of the pain, there's that mental hurdle that she has to learn to adapt and overcome it as well.
Yeah.
And Charlotte using the stairs and the ring post for leverage to help. There's
the attack.
I was going to say, I like the inclusion of the green and the removal of the blue in Charlotte's entrance videos.
Oh, and the trainer's back out there, and Charlotte pushing them off.
Well, the one thing we've seen out of Charlotte lately is she's been saying she is a warrior, she's a competitor. And this is where we're seeing it. She even just pushed Nick Aldis. So we know if there's one thing Charlotte's going to do right now, and that's compete, whether it's the right thing, the wrong thing, it's just in her nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But we do have a match underway.
And there's the chop block to the front of the leg from Liv Morgan.
Now, notice Nick Aldis and the trainers have not left ringside. They actually went behind the commentators over to the timekeepers area.
No, if I'm Liv, I'm using my inner Bret Hart. I'm doing the figure 4 on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing everything I can to put pressure on this knee, because if you can do that, not only now does Charlotte lose that mobility factor, she loses any potential momentum that gets her into any of her signature moves, and she can't fully put pressure on the figure 8.
Yeah.
And natural selection is almost completely gone.
Yeah. And we already saw Charlotte struggle last week to apply the figure 8 in her match.
That's why I'm also kind of at the point, is this the time we get Stephanie Vecchio back to cost Liv in a match where she almost thinks it's a clear-cut win for her?
Yeah.
And this sparks Stephanie and Liv once again. And you can go to not, I wouldn't say Night of Champions, but this is definitely a Madison Square Garden Saturday night main event right now.
Something tells me that if Liv somehow wins the Queen of the Ring tournament, they're going to give her a mystery opponent for SummerSlam, and it's going to be Stephanie Vecchio. Or Stephanie's going to make her return at Saturday night's main event, and then they'll make the match for SummerSlam there.
It'll be very interesting on the direction if they have Liv win.
I just had this weird imagination, but imagine if, and I know that we didn't have this foresight at all, but imagine if it was Tessa Blanchard who became that mystery opponent.
I don't think that we'd see that anytime soon.
No.
No. No, as far as I know, she's pretty content with CMLL right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this could be a way to not just bring Stephanie into the fold, but imagine if this is given an opportunity to someone else.
Yeah.
Whether it's like Jordan Grace, whether it's maybe Becky or like somebody else on the Raw roster. Like almost just about anyone could be taking this as an opportunity.
Would this be a situation where maybe you potentially look to debut a Tatum Paxley?
No. Because you have to take into account she's wrestling her Great American Bash.
Okay.
And I think they're going to have... I don't think they're going to touch any call-ups from NXT until after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see anything before it.
Yeah, and usually during that time, the post SummerSlam call-ups, there's only like a small handful of wrestlers they bring up at that point.
Yeah.
Not to mention before SummerSlam, I think we can expect to see the return of CM Punk. We might even see the return of Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
We could see a lot, like even Randy Orton could be back by then.
Yeah.
Joe Hendry could be back by then if the visa issues get sorted out.
Yeah, and then even like a bunch of people, like we don't know for sure if visas are an issue, but we do know that that's being reported that some of these people could be having visa issues.
Yeah.
But
see, I'm not expecting Drew before SummerSlam. I'm expecting Drew at SummerSlam, as we discussed just the other night on Turnbuckle Talk. Drew is filming another movie in Spain alongside Russell Crowe.
Yeah, and that's why I don't expect him for Night of Champions, but I do think the time between Night of Champions and SummerSlam is when we can see him.
Okay. Yeah, and I was going to say, we don't know how long that movie's actually been in production.
Yeah.
By the time SummerSlam rolls around, they most definitely could be done shooting it.
Yeah.
But as we're talking about not liking the hot shot, we're hot shotting the topics way out of what we're seeing right now.
Yes.
As we're getting, obviously, this match between Liv and Charlotte. Charlotte is putting out an effort. We're not seeing her leave her feet much. And when she does, it's usually because Liv is targeting that left knee.
Yeah, we did just see her do that crossbody, which I thought was maybe a little bit too risky. There goes that knee on that Irish whip.
It's risky, but at the same time, you can't completely change what you do, because Charlotte is still the bigger of the two, and if you get a chance to use your body to your advantage, you still have to do that. You just hope you don't fall and land on that.
And let's not forget that sometimes when that adrenaline kicks in, sometimes that pain seems to temporarily go away when you execute those high risk maneuvers.
Yes. And I mean, let's not forget that a number of years ago, when Liv was still fresh faced and really struggling, she had that squash match where Charlotte ate her alive, and she said, crying, "No, I've still got a lot to do." And then she came back with the Riot Squad and has just continued to get better from there. I don't know if this is that first match that these two have had since that time, and I know we're talking about 3-4 years at minimum, if not 5 or more, between matches between these two.
No, but what we are seeing is we're seeing the last 2 Royal Rumble winners face off. As we all know, Liv Morgan won this year's Royal Rumble. Charlotte won the year prior. But no, to what you're saying, like we've seen Liv Morgan really evolve herself since that time in the Riot Squad, where she kind of really made her initial mark on the main roster. She has absolutely transcended, and in fact, I think it's really largely to how much she's improved and evolved that gave WWE the opportunity to move a Rhea Ripley over to SmackDown, because now Liv Morgan is that superstar, megastar that they wanted, as we saw that with the launch of that music video Trouble prior to WrestleMania.
Yes. And that's the interesting thing I think about when I think about her time in the Riot Squad. I don't think any of us really would have pegged her to be the breakout star. I'm pretty sure the majority of people probably thought Ruby Riott would be the breakout star there.
Yeah.
I think back then, like Ruby Riott was the expected star,
Yeah.
and I think Sarah Logan was the one you expected to break out. But
Yeah.
I think with WWE, it's the one that always has the most room to grow is always usually the best long-term pick.
Yep.
Because I don't think we expected Roman Reigns to be the mega star he was out of the 3 members of the Shield.
No.
But it's not even a question. He's a much larger star than Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, John Moxley is.
See, I'll give you John Moxley on that. I think that Seth is still equal to Roman as far as the superstardom goes.
Yeah.
Roman has just
The
had
money
the
in
longer...
does not favor that.
Yeah, the box office says completely different.
Okay, but before you guys keep interrupting me while I'm trying to talk,
Just in facts. Go ahead.
Seth has been, again, that divisive wrestler and part of the dog and pony show. Yes, Roman has had the longer title reign. Seth has been really a lot more successful across a lot of other avenues in terms of picking the right people to really elevate.
Sure. But 10 WrestleMania main events signify you're the bigger box office draw.
Yeah, but a lot of those WrestleMania main events were when Roman was really that divisive superstar that the WWE was forcing down our throats.
He was still a big box office draw during that time, though.
Still a reason why they moved into the Netflix era and why they transcended into that. Through the Vince removal and all that, the way they are, Roman Reigns was the poster boy and the face of the franchise then. Until they got Cody Rhodes, now he's one of them as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely he is.
But I'm not discounting what I think Seth Rollins is by far the MVP for the company, but the MVP isn't always the GOAT.
I kind of equate it to, I'm going to go back to the 80s here. Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man. Hulk Hogan was your ticket seller. The Macho Man was your guy for the hardcore wrestlers. Or the hardcore wrestling fans. That's how I equate the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins situation. But
well, and we can use this right in this match as well, too, because Charlotte is that mega draw. She has the name value. She has the star power. Liv Morgan is your, in the last 5 years, who's been the one that's been used more? It's been Liv Morgan. You can almost equivalent Seth Rollins to Liv, or Roman Reigns to Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
So it's very similar in that form as well. But what we now see is the two together, we look at them as more of that equal. But when you build around the WrestleManias, the SummerSlams, and you see the consistency of one in the big matches and the other one not, you kind of have to put that in perspective in that argument or that discussion.
Oh, is she tying up Charlotte to the top rope?
Yes, she is.
And this is smart on Liv.
Yes.
Using the ropes to get those repetitive knees or knee strikes with kicks.
Not to mention with Charlotte hanging like that, that's going to hyperextend the knee a little bit there.
Yeah, but then Charlotte using that core strength to get that throw on Liv.
Yeah, core strength and her size. Charlotte is very good at using her size.
Yes, and then a natural selection off the second rope.
I mean, that was a smart move by Charlotte because the standard natural selection, she's got to run.
Yep.
So by using that second rope, that worked well in her favor there.
But did she really get it like she normally does? Because she's leaping off one leg and not two.
Well, yeah, it certainly wasn't as much snap impact as the normal natural selection would have been.
Just slapping the snot out of her there.
But if Liv Morgan reverses this, the pressure goes right onto that knee.
Yep.
Yes, it does. You can already see Charlotte starting to.
Oh, and I like how Liv is just adding more pressure just by pressing down on the ankle there.
Well, she had to just to keep it in place too.
Yeah.
It was coming loose, and that benefits Charlotte because it relieves that pressure, but also gets her out of that hold. And we do know at a figure four, that is the risk you put in. And I think that's why she's done the figure eight where she bridges up to take that ability away from her opponent.
Yep.
And right back to the knee. Oh, and Liv with the half crab. Love it, Liv.
Almost looks more like the tequila sunrise variation of the half crab.
Yep.
Well, I think the tequila sunrise involves the arm as a lockup. It doesn't look like she has the arm involved.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You're right there.
This looks like a standard Lance Storm half crab.
Liv using that 5 count to her advantage to just continue putting damage on that leg.
Is this a match where you guys think that the ref may need to step in and stop it?
Well, the trainers are stepping in right now to take a look, and so is Nick Aldis. And, Alexa Bliss is out there now.
I don't give up. Get out of my face. And the guy beelines it.
Well, for some reason, I thought Liv was going to do like a drop kick through the ropes and shove Charlotte into Alexa.
And as soon as Charlotte gets up, here comes Oblivion.
Charlotte's still got that fight in her.
Wow.
But right back to that half crab.
Oh,
and what torque on that. And Charlotte taps out.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, the evolution of Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
The wherewithal, how to use her size to her advantage. The one on the outside, Alexa Bliss, set the standard on how a small and a tinier competitor on the women's side can do that. Liv Morgan does that extremely well as she used her body to torque and use the size and the limb to Charlotte's disadvantage there.
Yep. And that's something we've seen Charlotte do, Alexa do in the past.
And now we go to a match at Queen of the Ring of Liv Morgan and Io Sky that has a lot of history behind it as well.
And you have to wonder, too, if Io not only wins this match, does she go after Liv Morgan again for the title? Does she go after Rhea? That's going to be a very intriguing situation. Do we also see Rhea get involved if one of Roxanne or Raquel get involved?
Right.
A lot of questions.
I've got to ask this. We know that Rhea is banged up. We don't know the severity of it. If you're Liv Morgan and you win the Queen of the Ring, do you then challenge Rhea and go for 2 belts?
Well, I'd have to think that by the time SummerSlam rolls around, that Rhea should be okay. So,
yeah, and I would also go on the assumption that if Rhea's not okay by then, I'm sure the title would be vacated beforehand, and then Liv, if she does win, would have that ability to go after that second championship. I would crown a new champion and have them face Liv in the final, though. I wouldn't cheat anybody out. I would, on SmackDown, do what you got to do to crown a new champion.
Yeah.
But so the finals are set. Jey Uso versus Obafemi for the King of the Ring, and we have Io versus Liv for the Queen of the Ring, and those matches take place in 8 days at Night of Champions. We also saw a triple threat match potentially added with Cody, Gunther, and Sami, or I think it did get added for the Undisputed title.
Yeah, it's official.
A United States title with Julia and Tiffany Stratton.
Jade and Tiff?
Jade and Tiffany, that's what I mean.
Yes.
So it does look like Night of Champions is filling up.
And also Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints.
Yeah. There you go.
I think it's safe to say that I think that's the card. I don't think we're getting anything more.
Well, we also then have the steel cage match between Braun and Seth.
Yeah.
So,
but as we make the rounds here, just OMD, let the people know where they can find everyone and give us your thoughts on SmackDown.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for us, it's turnbucklestudios.org/hosts. Click on our individual links to get our socials and watch our latest weekly live episodic shows. Show started off with a bang, and all of that controversy with Sami, Gunther, and Cody. The finish was a little bit better than at, I don't even remember.
Clash in Italy?
Yeah. But it built. I didn't like the finish to the tag title match, but ladies, I've said it before, if you are aspiring to be a professional wrestler, check out the women's division, and in particular, your main event tonight of Charlotte versus Liv, because that match absolutely stole the show.
And Mr. Parrish, what about your thoughts?
yeah, we saw a lot of people step up. I thought Ricky Saints, Carmelo Hayes had one hell of a match too to determine who is facing Trick. I really enjoyed that. I didn't hate the finish on the tag match because, of course, you missed the blind tag. You wouldn't have seen it coming. But at the same time, I'm very intrigued what is going to be next in the tag division. It doesn't seem like there is much direction right now, and that concerns me. And then the development between Gunther, Sami, and Cody really gets you going. And this really gave me a more pro Sami vibe than what I've been getting for the last month. And I'm kind of at that point now. Maybe this is the right time to put the title on Sami. I'm there for it, and I'd say do it.
Yeah. I think my moment of the night was that opening segment, that opening championship match. The chaos that surrounded that matchup and that led to that triple threat. I can't wait to see it now. But that Charlotte Liv Morgan match too. I would love to see that one once again somewhere down the line. But other than that, I think we're all set for the card.
Yeah. I do want to add, because I got the clearance from Carl Carafel just this morning, that for our Discord, that we are live. If you want to join our Discord and understand what we are bringing in, Then next week, on Sunday, June 28th, we will be showing a live viewing of TNA Slammiversary in a VC room on our Discord. So please, everyone, check out Turnbuckle Studios on Discord, because if you want to watch a pay-per-view with us, that's going to be your opportunity.
And if you want to check out the Discord link, it's right there at the bottom. Go ahead and copy that down and join in and watch some TNA. And on that note, OMD, what are those words we like to go out on?
Ladies and gentlemen, please always remember, the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at SmackDown Security Detail and Turnbuckle Studios, to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.
Lights go down, the sirens sound. You know what time it is.